Done some searching today, and I realized nobody that we know from the Thrive Tribe is on live tonight. So I felt like it was my duty to come and offer you, brothers and sisters, some lively conversation, or perhaps if we happen to get a couple of rookies in here, we can teach them a few things, help them to learn how to navigate the complicated highs and lows, ups and downs, hills and valleys of this place we call YouTube. So come along with me as I thrive to enlighten the tribe. I am somewhat knowledgeable in just about every aspect of YouTube. I'm still learning AI. I'm still learning editing. And when I say I'm learning, I say there are places in YouTube that I haven't mastered, Canva being one of them, and a couple of others that offer the lessons that you could learn from YouTube. But until I learned all the lessons, I'm not a complete YouTube guru, but I am a YouTube guru. I know quite a bit about YouTube. I started in 2014, and actually I started in 2012, but I don't count that because I never really tried to get any subscribers. I just wanted to see what it was like. Being that I didn't know what my goals were and I didn't know what I was trying to accomplish, I can't really say that I was on. You're not on until you have a purpose. And I bumped around in the dark, not knowing what I was going to do. Uh, just mainly watching the videos and, for the music aspect of it. Aside from that, really nothing. I didn't learn anything about the guidelines or the steps you would take to live stream or editing or anything else. And so I think that's part of the reason why I feel kind of inadequate. But I do feel comfortable about calling myself guru because I've helped quite a few people to clear the air and maybe answer some questions that might help them navigate safely in the process of my learning. I come to the understanding that until you help enough people attain their goals, you can't really say any of it is rewarding because you haven't given enough for anybody to benefit from. The whole idea of benefiting, I think, goes with the territory. Most people want an alternative to working a 9 to 5. This is it. If you want to use your creativity, this is it. If you want to use your time for your dreams, this is it. And that's a powerful statement, man, because how many things can offer so many opportunities to so many people without costing anything? Not too many that I know of. And YouTube is the exception. I can say TikTok, Instagram, and maybe X is the same. They all offer opportunities for you to master your creative skills um, and offer services, to merchandisers through advertising that would help their products, thereby being industrious enough to make money for companies and provide a service for the public and then make something for yourself at the same time. It's a beautiful thing. We have a few people on, but they haven't come forward and spoke or said hello. It usually takes between, I don't know what the exact amount of time is, but I believe it has to be on at least 1 to 2, maybe 3 minutes before a guest that has arrived to your YouTube channel can speak or leave text. Sometimes the moderator can do that, set it up so people who haven't subscribed can't make comments, or when people come in, they're not allowed to speak too many statements all at once. So they have to give a statement and then there's a delay in the time frame before they can make another statement. That's in the precepts that you can do that. Or you can just leave your chat completely open and whoever comes on after that initial 2 or 3 minutes that they're not allowed to speak, they can just say whatever they want whenever they want. And actually, most people like it that way because when you do that, your chat doesn't sound dead, you know. It's better to have an active chat. It's better to have active people in that chat. People who will speak to you, people who will answer you, people who will be polite and who will give as much as they get. I believe most people want to be that way. Sometimes they don't know any better. They come in and they sit silent and they take on this voyeuristic approach to learning. And I think learning should be interactive. If something hits you in the mind and you think, I would love to know the answer to that, you don't have to raise your hand because if you did, I wouldn't see it anyway. But if you jump in and ask the question after you've introduced yourself, which is appropriate when you go in somebody's home, say, hi, I'm such and such. That's the appropriate way. And I'm here to learn. And you greet whoever's in the chat at the time. And in some chats, they don't want you to mingle with the people. Online, you can mingle with whoever else is here. And then you ask your question. And if it can be answered by the host will answer. If the host can't answer it, then someone in the chat might be able to answer it. I'm a really good host. That's why I call myself a guru. So if I can't get the answer or have the answer, I will find the answer for you and I will make sure you get it. And all I ask in return is that you remember where you got it from. Because all the subs that you give me, all the attention that you give me, these blessed people here who have come on that I have no idea who they are, they occupy this space in my chat now. And it's an honor to be your host and to be here and help you, assist you in any way possible. Because that was my main goal in the first place. I saw so many people online, but nobody was live streaming that I know of, except 1 or 2 guys. And I don't think that their chat was familiar to the guys that I know. I've been in their chat, and I've been in many chats, and every chat is not meant for everybody. You know, if you find yourself in the wrong chat, you can be friendly and say hello, but then say, "I'm sorry, I meant to be somewhere else," or whatever you can say to get out of there. Because sometimes all content is not good content. It just depends on who you're dealing with. I like see people sing and dance and have a good time. I like to see people joke. I like to laugh. I like familiarity. Hello, sweet pea. How are you? I'm W.C. Wainwright, the YouTube guru, and I'm here to serve you. And what are your goals and how can I serve you? It costs you nothing. If I can answer your questions, I will. And then at the appropriate time, I will ask you a question. And just like you want an answer from me, I will require an answer from you. First, let me just say how good it is to see you, and I'm glad that this is your first time to my channel. And I'm so honored to have you here. May I ask you a question now? Or do you have one that you would like to ask me? I see you've been working for 10 years at trying to get established. Yeah, I wonder if you could get established and you knew everything you thought you were supposed to have in your arsenal of creativity, how would you best use YouTube to serve your purposes? And think carefully and then take your time. I know you're probably typing, so I won't rush you. But the question is, how will you use YouTube given that you've learned all that you need to know? This is hypothetical. I know you don't know anything at this point because you're only, you know, just really decided to come in a live stream and learn something. You only have one level or one subscriber. That means that your journey has not begun yet. So, but let's just say hypothetically, if you learned everything that you needed to know and you were amped and ready to go, what would you want to bring to the table and how would you use YouTube to serve yourself and the community? I'd just like to get your best answer, not any answer. Okay. I see we have another new visitor. Uh, Jay tweets, hello, how are you? Um, Jay wants to know if anyone could spare, it would help a lot, go a long way. What exactly did you want, um, Jay? He said it would go a long way. Kind, he says, kinda in Memphis, homeless, struggling to get back on my feet. I understand if nothing comes your way. Just so. He says, hashtag hungry, need expressed. Feel like giving up so bad I don't know what to do. Okay, I'll give that some thought. Um, we also have Dark Searcher. Hi, and Sweet Pea. Hi, Dark Searcher. How are you? It's so good to see you. Thank you for coming on. Um, Sweet Pea says, well, I didn't use YouTube for, I'm sorry, hold on. Yes, 1 year. I see. 10 years and you never used it. Betterment to become better over the 10 years. Right now, I'm a member of 3, and I would use YouTube to possibly promote my poetry skills. That's interesting. Sweet Pea, go for it. Dark Dare to Search says, Sweet Pea, go for it. Can we hear some of your poetry? And we'll get back to you, Jay Tweets. Stick around. We're going to see what we can do. And this is your poetry. Hello, Jay Sweets. Oh, you're just speaking. I can give you prayers for your situation to improve. Joanna is new to the chat. Hello, Joanna. Johanna. Johanna says, Jay Sweets, the best advice I can give people who are losing hope is to believe a little longer. That's good advice, really, when you think about it. Because you keep hope alive, like Jesse Jackson used to say. There's always a chance that things might change. The darkest hour is just before the dawn. And trouble may last a night, but trouble don't last always because you know what happened. Hey, Joanna. Dark Search says, hey, uh, please talk amongst yourselves and get to know each other. Welcome all to my channel. Um, I've heard, yeah, trouble don't last always, and joy comes in the morning. So I think what that says is like a pendulum; it swings both ways. Sometimes you have troubles, other times things are wonderful. One day chicken, the next day the feathers. In life, we have to learn how to deal with the ups and downs of life and not get overwhelmed by the times when we struggle. Because without adversity, without adversity, there is no victory. You know, there's always a fight and there's always a struggle. But at the end of that fight and that struggle, there's also rewards. So we can't give up before we enter the ring. We have to keep fighting. Johanna says, hello, Mr. W.C.Wainwright. Hello, Dark Searcher. Hi, Sweet Pea. Sweet Pea says, pain can also be a means to gain strength and guidance. That's a good point. And it's exactly what I just said. Your adversity sometimes in an awkward way, almost all the time, seem to serve you, especially if you're trying to do the right thing. Um, excuse me if I ask my moderator, Dark Dare to Search. Would you excuse me? Would you tell me how many people are in the chat right now and how many likes I have, please? Thank you. Jay tweets, I'm wondering, how did you get in that situation anyway? And what brought you to my channel to seek help? 5 and 4, thank you. There's someone who needs to hit the like button. Take your time, Jay tweets, and make it good though, because it might determine whether you get that help that you need or not. Sometimes people are very aware of what appears to be one thing, but it's really another. And there are scammers out there, there are hustlers out there. Just like when you go on the street, sometimes there are panhandlers that ask for things and they don't really need them for survival per se, but more or less to compound the finances to become something that they could possibly already be, which is well off. I can tell you a story about one time I saw a guy, he was in the middle of the divider and he was getting traffic from each direction in the traffic. And people were giving him money, and there were a lot of people who were walking down the street and they were giving him money. And he had been there most of the day and almost into the night, right? Thank you. Thank you, Dark Searcher. And I was going home and I passed this person again and I saw them leave that very corner and they jumped into a Mercedes and they drove off. What does that tell you? That tells you that that person was a scammer and they were playing on the kindness and concern of all those people they took that money from. And instead of being a person that was suffering from hardship, they were actually taking funds from good people just to help themselves. And that's very, very devious. And nobody wants to help a devious person. Sweet Pea says, I learned that lesson, Mr. Wainwright, personally in North Philly. I was 15 and naive. My mother, person, oh, I'm sorry, my cat moved. My mother taught me to help someone in need when we can. Well, I was giving this guy tokens because I had no money. She's gonna tell me the rest of the story. He's giving the guy tokens because he has no money, and there's another part to that story. I'm sure he's typing it. We will give him time to finish. In the meantime, Dark Searcher says, WC, what are you doing up this late? I suffer from um, amnesia. I find it hard to sleep. And so I end up staying up, and my wife doesn't like it. Partially because it's not healthy for you if you don't get the proper rest. And then because um, when I stay up, she has to stay up. Most of the time, if I'm in the house and I'm talking, she hears my voice, it triggers something in her head, and she becomes alert, even if she's tired. And that messes up her sleep too. So I know the other night I did a live stream and then I had to talk like this. Yeah, until I went outside, then I could talk kind of normal. But yeah, that's why I'm up. Insomnia, right? Now we will give Tweet some more time to explain what the situation is. In the meantime, I'll read the rest of these chats. Joanna says, that's so awful, tricking good people out of their hard earned money like that. Yes, it is very awful. Sweet Pea says, one day I had a feeling that the person wasn't being honest. And I watched them one day, and sure enough, they weren't needy at all. Very well off. Uh, lots of love, lots of laughs. So that same situation happened to Sweet Pea. That happened to me. Uh, Joanna said, dang, good intuition, Sweet Pea. Dark Searcher says, Sweet Pea, sorry to hear that. She says she's sorry to hear that you got caught the first time in that situation. Sometimes it's easy to spot, you know, who's really not sincere and who really needs help. Usually, that type of person that really doesn't need the help picks a certain spot to panhandle. And what happens is they're there every day as long as they can be there. And then it's like a job. After they finish, they go home, you know? And in some cases, they end up making more than you. And you're going and working hard to get your money. But all they're doing is asking. We can't be mad at them for that. I mean, God put that kind of kindness into the world to provide for those people, actually. But I'm sure He didn't mean for them to perpetrate a fraud on the people, but He did mean for them to know that kindness is alive and people love each other and they don't mind showing gratitude for each other and compassion for each other, and they will share what they have. God meant it to be that way, but I don't think He meant it to be taken advantage of. So, knowing is half the battle. And like I always say, if you know better, then you do better. You don't know no better, then you don't do no better. Ah, that's right. My neighbor's cat. Let me turn this around so you can see me. Maybe you don't want to see me. Maybe you want to see the cat. I'll let you look at the cat. Let's see what's next. Sweet Pea says, Dark Surger, don't be sorry. It was much needed lesson to teach me to be more in tune with my intuition and pay more attention to people. That's very true. Sometimes you go through things just for a learning experience, and you might go through that same thing over and over. And it happens more than once to you until you really get the picture. I know it happened for me one time when I was trying buying some gold. I thought I was buying, turned out to be lead. It happened to me in downtown San Francisco, and then it happened to me in Las Vegas. And both times, I got beat out of hundreds of dollars, you know, because I thought I was buying gold, but it was really lead. And I think I learned my lesson this time. Let's hope so. Joanna, right, learn and grow from it. Good way to go. Yes, indeed, that's a good way to go. Dark Surfer says, I just had a restroom trip. Now I'm going to bed now. Everyone stay safe and have a good night. Thank you, Dark Surfer, for coming through. And we're always happy to see you in our presence. I would hope that I see you again soon in the future. And you enjoy the rest of your night. Good night. And thank you for coming. I love you for that. Good night. Sweet Pea. Good night, Dark Searcher. Rest well. Joanna says, Sweet dreams, Dark Searcher. And she says, thanks. And I believe we will have to wait to see her again tomorrow unless she can't sleep and she comes back. Either way, it's fine because we got nothing better to do at this point. We're just chilling. And I'm enjoying all of your company. Now, what do you think should be done about J Sweets? Let's take a vote, okay? If you believe J Sweets, why don't you say, I believe? But if you don't, say it's a scam, and I'll give everybody a chance to give me their input. But maybe first we'll ask J Sweet, how did you get in the situation again? Jay Sweets, would you mind explaining it to us one more time so we can feel you out? I'll give you time to answer. But we make no promises. We're just here right now to hear you out. I'll give you a few minutes to respond. Some words of wisdom would help also. Words of wisdom pertain to what? In order to be wise, you have to know what you're talking about first. So we're waiting to hear from you, Jay Sweets, and we'll give you a few more minutes. Joanna says, I admire how calm and methodical you talk, Mr. Wainwright. You can call me WC. You don't have to call me Mr. Wainwright. Everybody does. Um, I often have to slow myself down and remind myself to think before I talk. I say a lot of things and I often regret immediately after laughing, she says. Yes, I agree with you. It's an easy mistake to make. Somewhere I read that if you take your time and you think about your words and you choose your words carefully when you speak, people tend to pay you more attention and they tend to take you more seriously because they don't hear you ranting and raving and talking about a lot of stuff. So I've always believed it's better to be a man of few words because you only have one mouth. And so that God gave you to use as a tool. But more importantly, you have two ears. So you should use them twice as much. That's my opinion. And it's a personal one. You don't have to take, you can take it or leave it. But I found myself in situations where I could have been overcome by somebody who was ranting and raving and saying a lot of things to me. And I found that if you really want to display power and strength in the midst of your adversity, like God tells us to do, stand still and know that I am God. What that says to me, and I know the word is always a personal thing, but what that says to me is that I have to be comfortable in my trust. The stillness represents steadiness. And when a person is being verbally attacked or bombarded, it's good to have confidence in yourself and to choose your words wisely. And when you do speak, you'll garner just a little bit more respect than the person that's just running off with their mouth. Jay Sweet, we're still waiting for your response. Well, and then too, I'm not going nowhere, and I have plenty of time, and I've only been on 36 minutes, and I'm already happy with the result of this live stream because in the beginning I had 7 people, and I still have 3. And so the reason why it's important to have people in your live stream who speak and speak to each other is because number one, it helps gain you hours if you're the host. You know, for every person that is in your live stream, you gain 1 hour if they stay 1 hour, right? And if it's more than, I don't know, what you have in the beginning, like you add it all up and you get to 3 hours from the person, from those 3 persons that are here, and you get 3 hours every time the video is viewed. If it's an hour long, you get the 3 hours again. So that's 6 hours. Let's say that same video is 2 hours long. Well, that's 3 and 3. That's 6. That's one time. 3 and 3, that's 6. That's 2 times. 6 and 6 is 12. Now you got 12 hours. Let's say if you stay a little longer and you got 3 hours, okay? 3 hours times 3 people. 3, 6, 9. And 2 people visited your page and watched that video one time. 9 and 9 is 18 hours. Let's say 10 people visited that stream, and it's a lot of math, but I would think it's 180 hours. Yeah, because 10 times 18, 99 is 18. 10 times 18 is 180. Am I right? I believe so. Well, let's not stop there. Let's say the video got 100 people to watch it. Okay, that's 1,800 hours. That's almost as much as you would need to monetize your channel. So it behooves you to have a good subject that everybody's interested in, to go into the creation build and make yourself a thumbnail if you're all thumbs like me and you don't know how to make a thumbnail. They have a section in the studio that you can use to make you a thumbnail, and those 2 things, along with the size of the video, you know, the content, the thumbnail, and the amount of time people were watching it, multiplied by how many views you get on that, can really help you garner a lot of watch time in long stream hours. Okay? But now, with that being said, I'd like to also remind you guys, because I'm always hearing about the long stream hours. If you ever picked up the knack to create through some of those videos, and I'm shooting myself in the foot here because I like the availability of those videos, because most of the videos that you see that I made, I remixed them. Okay, so Joanna said there's some really toxic live streams and chats out there, and there's this one kid who basically only ever addresses the negativity in his stream, and his chats are always just about, just absolutely the worst. Joanna said, I've kind of figured out navigating, avoiding beings like that. I would too, because my time is precious and I'm not going to spend it deep diving in negativity when I'm trying to do something positive. I want to keep my mental attitude elevated. If you're Hindu or Buddhist, you have the chakras that run through the body, and you want to stretch and you want to meditate. Nam yo ringe kyo, nam yo ringe kyo, nam yo ringe kyo. Or if it's Hindu, you want to go Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Krishna, Hare Hare Krishna Krishna, Hare Dom, Hare Dom. Or if you want to pray, say, Heavenly Father, give me peace tonight and help me find my center and to be a blessing to all those that come into my chat. Bless the works of my hands, that it might prosper me and my friends, and bless each and every one who is within the range of my voice. All these things I ask in the name of your darling son Jesus. Amen and thank God. So, in a nutshell, I would say anything that you're involved in, you should reach your higher power first so that you don't further dilute the situation if you do run into a negative situation. Have your mind stay fast on your purpose and don't deviate. Don't take shortcuts. Stay on the path. And like I like to say, stay in your lane. If you find something that you don't understand, like the situation that we're dealing with right here, has nothing to do with learning YouTube. It's more or less a human aspect and suffering. Times when people don't have enough to eat or a roof over their head. It's a terrible situation. Nobody wants to live in a situation like that, and they don't want to see people who they know live in a situation like that. So I have to say, if you wanted to find help somewhere that you could reach out, the YouTube may be a part of it. And hopefully you'll accomplish your goals and be a blessing to yourself and your families. Now let's just check on Jay tweets and see what he has to say. I haven't heard from him. It's been about 10 minutes. Maybe he doesn't think we're going to help him anyway. Maybe we won't. If he can't give us a valid reason for being in the situation he's in, he might be a fraud. But I don't want to falsely accuse him. I do want to find out why he can't get any help anywhere else. So let's just check it out and find out what happened with him. I don't see any new links or new posts. So I guess he's still trying to figure out what he's going to say. We'll give him some more time. I have mm, six. I have 16 minutes left that I would devote to this live streaming, unless, of course, you guys want to stay longer. Oh, something I forgot to mention. Um, I am the founder of Thrive Tribe. It's a YouTube guild, basically. And what we do is we travel around from person to person and we sit in on their live stream and we listen to their live stream and we stay between an hour and an hour and a half at each live stream. And during that time, that person accumulates the amount of time that they need in order to overcome the barrier of having 4,000 watch hours. Because we all know you can't do that on your own. You're going to need some help. You're going to need some people to be committed to you. You can't derive those hours by yourself unless you've mastered certain skills in editing and you picked up, you know, um, a niche that can direct you to maybe do an AI presentation that would be self-broadcasting and it would hold up in terms of the hours by itself and it's non-responsive. You know, it won't talk to the people that view it, but it will be active enough to hold their attention. And so that is one way. And then there's this way that you can use the shorts. You know, a lot of people forget if you have 3 million shorts, then you can also pass the requirement if you have the appropriate amount of subscribers on your in your account on your page. Now, I said that to say this. Some people don't mind posting a lot of short form videos, and most of them are pretty good. But let's just say you really got into your swing of things and you posted 300 live scribes, right? And out of that 300, maybe 5 or 10 subscribe to you personally and joined your channel, then you have a possibility of gaining more support from newcomers and accumulating those hours to beat that threshold of 3,000. So that's another possible way of being monetized. I happen to have over 545,000 shorts. How did I do it? I posted until I dropped for a month. And I'm still posting. But I think I could do it before the end of the month if I really put my heart into it. But it's not easy. But I've been doing the live stream itself to be the one that talks to people. Unless you really get good at talking to people, like I try to talk to people with like to have sense and the longer you stay on with them, like I said, the more time you can acquire. And once you get that video edited properly and then turned it out into the public, if that video gains momentum and you end up with, I don't know, 100,000 views, then you can definitely go viral the same way, you know. And you won't have to be sitting in front of the camera all the time, every day, waiting for the people to come and sit with you and then running it back in your mind because it seemed like such a pretty bad thing, you know? This is my brother from penitentiary. He he contacted me and he wanted to talk, and I was doing a live stream, And I said, man, I can't talk to you right now. I have company. You guys are just like being invited into my home. Okay. So Johanna said, good night, sweet pea. I hope your youngins sleep better tomorrow so you can get some sleep. You sound like an amazing person. Thank you. How sweet. Sweet pea. I'm dozing off. Lots of laughs. I think I'm going to get off here. I subscribe to you, Mr. Wainwright. Well, thank you, Sweet Pea. And I will certainly give your pages a like. And I hope that you have some content there that I can examine. And if you don't, I would suggest that you make a selfie or just a short video with your phone and post it after you edit it and make it public so that I can see it and I can like it. And who knows? Maybe I'll join your channel too. We'll see. Um, Good night to you and thank you for coming. I appreciate you. And I love each and every one of you for supporting me. And I will visit your pages. And more than likely, if you have stuff that I like, I'm going to subscribe. So don't worry. Um, so, guys, we haven't heard from Mr. Tweet. Maybe he gave up on us. My time is drawing near. I guess Mr. Tweet is the only one left. Mr. Tweet, I have to tell you, uh, as disappointing as this is going to be, I don't have any money right now. Not even for myself. I just got a few dollars. Nowadays, you can't buy anything for $1. So, and everybody else left. Maybe you might try to find another live stream with a lot more people. Maybe then your odds of getting the money that you need will go up. Seeing as how all the people that were here are gone and they've gone to bed, and I have no money. So even if I wanted to, I couldn't give you complete your request. Unfortunately, this friend of mine had asked me earlier today if I had change for $100 bill. I said, $100 bill? I don't even have $6 in my house. But he was such a good friend, I gave him my credit card and then, you know, and the $6 and told him that I trust him and whatever he does, don't take but more than what you said you were going to take off of this card. And I trust you will pay me back. And when I told my wife what I did, because he had said, well, no, he had taken it at first and then he gave it back. He said, no, I don't think I should do that. He said, I'll just try to get some change from the cab driver and just go ahead and take a chance. But I will borrow that $6. And then he said, no, I don't think I need it. If I get change, I won't need it. And I said, okay, well, at least I know I tried to help. You know, you might have your differences with people, but I think your main goal or your main aim in this life, if you want to try to be a service to humanity and bring something to the table, that you should always give people the benefit of the doubt. and try and help them if you can. You know, it's a good policy, and because it lets them know, even in times of strife or struggle, that there are people who will help you get past your shortcomings and achieve your goals. So, Mr. Tweet, can you tell me, or no, you don't want to discuss it anymore? I'm waiting for your response. Well, I guess he left. Okay, I see zero. Now, when I started this chat, I meant to talk about how the little guy at the top likes to lie. I don't know if it's, I should say like, because they don't have compassion either way. They're machines. All they're doing is keeping track of what's going on. They're not really involved emotionally. So that machine's job is to keep track of people. And people represent the beliefs that the computer has aligned with the ones and the zeros to represent real characters, but they're not. They're just, you know, AI generated. What's the other one? Comic book generated, like, um, yeah, the deep fake people. Yeah. And in the end, I think we have to be careful, about how we use this YouTube. There are greedy people in this world, and we have to be careful. They'll take advantage of you, and you got to be careful, you know. And you don't want that. You want to be, you want to be whole when you get into this. You don't want to say, "Oh, such and such did this or such and such did that," because even if you did, it's not going to change. What they did is still done. The deed is done, So it's no use beating yourself up when once the deed is done. Okay, we got you. And then, Mr. Tweet, I don't see you anymore. Did you check out? I was going to give you one more word of advice. Oh, there you are. Feeling like giving up. Okay, pray on it. How about that? I mean, have you prayed on it? Do you believe in God? If you do, I would think that this is the right time for you to hear from Him. Because we're going to be going up there together, me and my wife and I. Anyway, we're going to the church. We're going to go visit, or we're going to listen to Reverend Jamal and listen to his church. Okay, so we never heard back from Tweets. I guess he changed his mind about asking us. Okay, I'll take over now, and I will say thank you for joining my channel. If you derive any pleasure or any benefit from this channel, I would love to hear from you. And keep me abreast of your success. I'm always here and I'm always happy to hear a happy ending. All right. Until we meet again, this is your friend and brother WC, and I'm signing out now. Be safe, hug your kids, treat your family right, give your elders their roses while they can still smell them, and try to forgive yourself so you can forgive others. This is WC. Peace.